I'm really bad at watching things. I don't know what it is. I would buy a Blu-ray that I'm excited for and plan to watch it. I put it on the shelf and... Can you see the dust on it? Don't even get me started on the watch lists. I have hundreds of different shows and movies across multiple streaming platforms that I've been meaning to watch and just haven't gotten around to it. Hell, Dragon Pilot is one of the first shows I added to my Netflix watch list, and I got Netflix 7 years ago, I think. So today, I'm changing that a bit. I want to start a new series named after an old Scott the Woz series that I don't think he really does anymore, called Tales from the Backlog. But instead of playing video games, I'm watching movies and TV shows that I've been meaning to watch. And then we talk about them. My original plan was to focus this first episode on just Star Wars shows, but I started bouncing to other streaming platforms and watching some documentaries and stuff, so I'm going to cover these few things that I've watched in the last couple of weeks, starting with... I will preface that this was more of a listening experience with glimpses of what is going on, as I was stocking the coffee aisle at Walmart at this time. I really enjoyed season 1. Mando on the Run was an interesting start and somehow a cliche start at the same time. But the fact that it's the man on the run trope doesn't bother me. It was a great way for us to learn some things about Mando's past and ways to introduce us to reoccurring characters. I did find it interesting that they seemed to set up a romance between Din and this widow on Sorgan, and then we dropped the idea once a bounty hunter tries to kill Grogu. Maybe they'll revisit that, or we're just done with it. I don't know.
The choices we make, the actions we take.
I didn't expect that I couldn't just listen to it at work, mainly due to how Disney Plus moves between episodes. For some reason, on my phone, it just stops once the episode ends, and this is a series with 5-minute episodes. So instead, I had to watch it on one screen while doing some work on the other screen. That was also a chore. Disney Plus kicks you out of the full screen when the next episode starts, and when I decided to just say screw it and let it play not full screen, it would show the next episode in blank seconds page that I would have to click to start it. It wouldn't be much of a problem, but each episode is 5 minutes, and when I'm mining out a perimeter in Minecraft, that takes quite a bit of time away from the grind. I only watched 7 episodes so far, and I will say, it's a good idea. I enjoyed the one-off ideas, and I could get behind that these events are canon and happening during the moments that we don't see in the films or other shows. But I just wish that there was more than a 5-minute short. It feels like they wanted something to fill a void when they could have fleshed out great stories. For example, an episode of Ahsoka fighting this faulty droid, its premise is she's late for a Jedi ceremony and still takes the time to help innocent people. You could easily make this a 20-minute episode of her doing her route and helping people, leading to the droid bit. I guess from these 7 episodes, I was left wanting more in a bad way, but I'll watch the whole 2 seasons and give a solid opinion on it more based off of that. Clearly the start of my deviation from just Star Wars shows. The documentary is about how they spent years taking hundreds of thousands of photos of the wreckage of the Titanic to examine more and to be able to view it like no one has ever before. It was a great documentary, and I would highly recommend to give it a watch if you're even remotely interested in the Titanic.
You don't know the way. Yes, I do. Do you know the way?
Another documentary, this time on Max, or HBO Max now, again? It's hard to know these days, like the Wisconsin weather. I thought it was going to be a doc filmed entirely in VR chat about the cringe we associate with that game, but instead, I was invested in the wholesomeness of all the people and their relationships. I will say maybe don't show this one to kids though. If you know, you know. But again, a great watch.
He was lying on his back with a single sheet covering 3/4 of his body. He was wearing a pair of striped pajamas and sweating terribly. It was a hot night. I was sweating myself, but not like Harry. His whole face was wet and the pillow was soaked. It looked like malaria to me.
These are probably my first time diving into Wes Anderson and his films. I remember watching Fantastic Mr. Fox years ago, but that was when I was a child and not an old man in a 26-year-old's body. I get the hype behind Wes Anderson. I love the way that these were filmed and how they look. I will be hunting down more of his films, and these were just short films. Poison was interesting. A man feels a highly venomous snake slither onto his stomach under the sheets, and it's just everyone's trying to figure out how to save him before the snake bites him. But the thing that makes it different is how one character, in this one it's just Dev Patel, narrates everything going on to you like you're reading a book or you're reading on paper, and he's doing it in the scene. The same goes for The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, but also add Ben Kingsley and Benedict Cumberbatch doing their specific parts of the story. Just know that I now plan on watching the other two stories, The Swan and The Ratcatcher. And with that, I knocked 5 things off my watch list. I added 2, but, it's progress. So I don't know how often Tales from the Backlog is going to appear in the Mondays. I do have a plan to do one soon for Pride Month, but otherwise it may be like I watch quite a few things, and if it's not covered in a different video, then I'll put in a Tales from the Backlog. But hopefully with this series, it motivates me to watch more of the stuff that I have in my backlog in terms of physical media and to get rid of my streaming services. Yes, I'm looking at you and all the other ones. But anyways, let me know in the comments below, what are some things in your backlog that you've been meaning to watch? And let's just not keep it to movies and TV shows. What video games do you have in your backlog? What books do you have in your backlog that you need to read or play? All that. Let me know in the comments below. And until next video, I'll see you in the future. Bye, guys.